Hey everyone, Ben Coomber Radio and and welcome to episode number 207. Now, 207 is going to be another show where it's just me. Why is it just me again? Because I just feel like I've got a lot to say at the moment. Something's come up, like a few things have happened over the last couple of weeks, and it made me really want to get and do this show basically. There will be a guest back on next week. We'll be following the normal guest format. I'll have Mark Devine from SEAL Fit, who's an ex-badass Jedi Marine Commando dude who I'm interviewing. He will be on next week's show. But this week is me again. And the reason why I wanted to do this show is because we're getting an awful lot of messages and kind of inquiries at the moment, and a few complaints actually about people that have tried awesome supplements and have not read the label or not watched the video or not clued themselves up on what they're buying. So I want to help everyone, and I realise the reason why podcasts are so good for an awful lot of people is that you can just sit in your car, you can go on a walk, whatever, and you can learn, and I really appreciate that. And what people don't seem to have the time to do a lot of the time these days is sit down and go through a website, read a blog, put aside time to adequately and in a quality way digest information that they want to learn. And I think, it's very much a modern issue. We've got a problem with sitting down and learning stuff and concentrating and actually just setting aside and making the time for education. And I get that's why podcasts have become popular. So I felt that I need to get this information out on the podcast. I know that most people that are a fan of my work listen to my podcast. That is the main medium where they digest my information. So I don't know how long this podcast is going to be, to be honest. It might be quite long, I don't know. But I'm basically going to spend as long as I need to talking about supplements, about what you should take, why you should take it, what are the side effects, why do you train, how can supplements be incorporated into your training, etc, etc. Now, I'm going to start from the top in terms of supplement use, in that I've just spent an awful long time creating awesome supplements. I'm intensely proud of it. We've done an awful lot of hard work. We've got a lot of hard work ahead of us, but I've put a massive amount of time and passion into awesome supplements to try and essentially create clarity in the supplement market. Now, straight from the top, supplement use is by no means essential. Straight away, go on to awesomesupplements.co.uk. There on the home page is an ebook titled 8 Reasons Why You Don't Need Supplements. Now, if you haven't read it, I highly recommend a read. It's not that long, it's very informative, and it starts to look at this concept of people like to look at supplements quite a lot. They like to kind of believe that there's, an awful lot of magic in supplements. And actually, the reality is that we need to earn the right to take supplements. We shouldn't be taking supplements to lose body fat, largely because a lot of these supplements do not work. But it's a faulty psychology. We shouldn't be taking caffeine to feel, basically normal in the gym. Caffeine should be an ergogenic aid and enhance us from a state of good rest, adequate recovery, good mental clarity. So we've got to earn the right to take supplements. Let me just put that out there. Yes, I've created a supplement company. Great. But it doesn't mean all of you should buy it. But I want to teach you and get you all to a point where your lifestyles, your body composition, and your training is at a point where supplements could maybe add a little 3, 5, maybe even 10% to what you're trying to achieve. And that's my aim with supplementation. That's all supplementation is. It's about fine-tuning everything. And don't get me wrong, some supplements will add more than others to what you're trying to achieve. Like some health-based supplements could actually add quite a bit. Now, granted, you won't see a lot of that benefit initially. For example, let's say you had no fish in your diet, you started taking a fish oil, you improved your omega-3 ratio to omega-6, you might not see that benefit straight away, because it's not like things might radically change. Some people might see great benefit. They might see a slight improvement in kind of skin and tissue quality, and just sort of a general sense of improved well-being. There are other products that are more recovery and ergogenic based, and you get a big difference. I'm going to talk about every supplement that we've created as part of Awesome Supplements and why you should take it and what the rationale is. Something like recovery spray, for example, actually you could get a huge amount of benefit and see a huge amount of benefit, and that I like, but you've got to get there. You've got to warrant the use for it. Now, the key reason, coming back to the beginning of this podcast, that I wanted to do this is because, especially with a couple of the products that we've made, people keep emailing and saying, oh, this happened, oh, I didn't realise it had this effect. And I don't want to be nasty, because I'm here to educate and I'm here to help, but I've never bought a supplement where I've just gone, oh, he said it's good, I'll buy it and I'll just take it. And especially when it comes through the door, I read the label on best use. So I want to outline in this podcast all the supplements we've made, who they're appropriate for, how you take them, how you might use them, just everything. And whether you just sit back and passively learn about all of this, because I'm going to talk an awful lot about different ingredients and supplements and uses and stuff, it's just really important for me to get this information out here, and I want you to understand how it can benefit you, because I don't want you buying things just because I've said so or you trust me or whatever. I had an email earlier on in the week that said, oh, I bought the product because I trust you and I hoped it would work. And I'm like, do you know what? I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that you trust me, but that shouldn't be enough. You still got to go away, have a look at information on websites, have a look at ingredients, and make a decision as to, whether that is actually right for you, and whether, you understand its use and its inclusion in your regime. So, I know I've spoke about this, but I'm going to go over it briefly. Why did I create Awesome Supplements? I created Awesome Supplements because I believe there is a massive amount of misinformation in the supplement world. We're taking a lot of things we don't know what are. We're hoping that these supplements are going to create an environment where they likely won't. So they're trying to get us, and we believe that they're going to get results and that they probably won't. I also think it's a great avenue to educate people, because that's a lot of the time it's what people initially think of. Like, people get into the gym, they get into health, they get into fitness, and they automatically think, oh, what supplements do I need to take? And I want to be that supplement company that says, actually, none. Not yet. Change this, and this, and then progress into using supplements. I want to be that ethical supplement company where people start their journey with and really end their journey with us. I don't, there's an awful lot of supplement hopping in the fitness industry. Who's got the cheapest protein? Who's got the pre-workout that's on offer? Who's got the highest dose of caffeine in a pre-workout, etc. And for me, people are doing that because they've never really found something that's that quality, that they really support and believe in the ethics behind the company. I'm trying to create something where I want people to believe in the ethics behind what we're doing. We're trying to create education. Yes, we're trying to create amazing products, and I've put a massive amount of time into flavouring, getting the ingredients right, researching, making sure we're doing our due diligence, putting together education behind everything that we're doing. I've spent a massive amount of time doing it, and I want people to see the benefit in that, not for my benefit or to stroke my ego, because it translates into your success. It also translates into your bank balance, for example. Like, is there supplements we could stop using if we don't need them? Could our money be better spent? Could we get better benefit from taking something else? This is the ethics behind Awesome Supplements. And the reason why I talk about be awesome, live an awesome life, it's exactly that. Like, fitness, and I know you've heard me say this, fitness is just an extension of living a better life. Fitness isn't my life. It is a big part of my life, but this is just an extension. And I don't take a huge amount of supplements. I don't even take all of Awesome Supplements, some of the time. Some of the time I'm taking some rather than the other. But really, the range I've created is a lot of what you do actually need. And I do use all the supplements, just at different times and in different scenarios. So let's go right from the top. Let's start with a staple supplement and the one that we're actually getting the most amount of questions from, and that's Performance Blend. So Awesome Performance Blend. Now this is a product that is aimed at improving gym and physical performance. It contains 2 of the key ergogenic aids. That is creatine in the form of CreaPure, which is the purest version of creatine. It's manufactured in Germany under very strict standards, and it's just the basic creatine monohydrate. All these other fancy creatines, Crea Alkaline, Crea whatever, they're not as effective and as cheap and as just effective as creatine monohydrate, and that's why the fitness industry is so pro creatine monohydrate. It also contains beta-aniline, which is a very nice, very beneficial ergogenic aid that aids performance for a minute plus. So this is why this as a product, Performance Blend, is good for people that are doing high rep bodybuilding, not low rep. So if you're a strength athlete, if you're a powerlifting athlete, I wouldn't recommend Performance Blend. I would probably recommend just straight up plain creatine. Now, if on top of your strength training and on top of your powerlifting, you go running, you do sprint work, you do conditioning, let's say you're a strongman and you often do medleys, then this will benefit you. But if you're an out and out strength athlete, all you lift is kind of weights that are 6 and less, or you're an Olympic lifter or you're a power lifter and all your kind of intensity and training stimulus is low rep, then it's not a product for you, mainly because the beta-alanine is not really much use to you. The creatine is. So I would source a plain creatine product and take that alongside whatever else you might take. But, so, anyone that's working in high rep bodybuilding, anyone that's doing classes like spinning, just anything where you're doing a lot of high repetitive intensity, which is similar to a sporting environment. Like I play rugby, if I played rugby, football, if I swam at various intensities, if I did hard and fast runs, if I did anything repeatedly, explosively, which is an awful lot of sports, I would take Performance Blend. The beneficial effects of creatine and beta-alanine are very applicable to the sporting environment and the hypertrophy environment. Now the key side effect of this is paresthesia. So this is one of the key things we're getting a lot of emails about. Paresthesia is tingling of the skin. It's kind of like a pins and needles feeling. Now it's very common in the kind of hands, back of the hands, around the neck, kind of face area, and some people get it in other places. Some people get it around the spine a little bit and in other areas, but they are the most common areas. This is a 100% natural side effect, but it doesn't mean the product is working. So companies will put beta-alanine in a pre-workout product. You start to get this tingling feeling and you think, oh, it's working. That's just a side effect. It doesn't mean it's doing anything performance enhancing. It will have a placebo effect, which actually can be very powerful. So it can make you, want to move almost. It can make you a little bit kind of agitated because movement helps wear off the effect of paresthesia. So sometimes when people get tingling, I say just move about a bit and it will kind of go because the movement helps kind of dissipate it. So if this does happen with Performance Blend, reduce your dose. So currently we recommend a loading phase. Now we recommend a loading phase because beta-alanine basically works by increasing carnosine levels in your blood. This has to happen over time. It doesn't happen acutely, which means quickly. So if I took a scoop of beta-alanine now and I've never had it before, it won't really have any performance enhancing effects. Maybe very, very small, but very limited. So we need to build up our carnosine levels in our muscles and our blood. And it's kind of a similar effect with creatine. They work in similar-ish ways. They just work in slightly different ways. But they do look to recycle energy, buffer lactate acid, and improve ATP recycling. So this is why it's so important, or can be beneficial in the bodybuilding and sporting arenas. So 2 ways you can minimize this. Reduce the dose. So instead of taking 2 scoops a day, which we recommend you take 1 scoop with breakfast and 1 scoop with dinner, or you can take a scoop pre-workout if it kind of, works for you and stuff. You can do that as one technique, or the other technique is to take it with food. That will slow down the digestive process. A great way that I recommend is to get like your drinking water for the day. So you might prepare like a litre or 2 litre bottle of drinking water. Put 1, maybe 2 servings in that drinking water. It's flavoured to be a nice kind of lemon flavouring. So it's going to taste nice. It tastes nice and neutral, tiny little bit sweet, but just a bit tangy. So that's another way. Then you can just drip feed this beta-alanine and creatine throughout the course of the day. And the key thing is that over time we start to saturate your muscles with 5 grams of creatine and 6 grams of beta-alanine, which is the recommended daily serving. So you need to be taking this every day for most maximum benefit to build up these levels in the bloodstream. So, please find out whether this product is right for you. Again, lots of bodybuilders, sports enthusiasts, people that attend classes, people that do a lot of repetitive, explosive and hard training. This is going to be very relevant. Now, to connect the dots between this and our pre-workout product, which is new, only came out a week ago at the time of recording this podcast, we've made pre-workout shots. Now, these also contain beta-alanine and creatine in it. They're 2 of the 6 ingredients. Now, on a day where you might usually take Performance Blend and you might be on a maintenance dose, so our maintenance dose is 1 scoop a day, our loading dose is 2 scoops a day. So let's say you've done 4 weeks of the loading dose and you're now on the maintenance dose, you cannot take Performance Blend in the morning and just take 1 shot of pre-workout, and that will contain your daily serving of beta-alanine and creatine. Now, if you're still on the loading phase of Performance Blend, then still take, for example, your morning serving of Performance Blend, then take your shot of pre-workout, and that will give you the 6 grams of total beta-alanine a day and the 5 grams of creatine. Now, who's this pre-workout for? It's very similar to the people which is applicable to the Performance Blend. Now, if you engage in high rep bodybuilding, sport that is explosive and repetitive, class-based movements where you're moving about a lot, you're constantly stressing the muscles, then this is a very beneficial product. So this contains a very high amount of nitrates from natural beetroot. So we've worked closely with Beat It. Beat It is the current brand leader when it comes to beetroot products. They've got patents over their work. I'm really pleased that we could work with them. It was really nice to work with a company that are actually local to me, which was really nice. So I got to work with them on a very personal level to create this product. These guys are massive in cycling. For example, they're massive in rugby. They're starting to become a lot bigger in football. Beetroot has massive benefits to this environment. When I was working with Beat It, they told me that most of the World Cup rugby teams at the Rugby World Cup in the UK, last Rugby World Cup, were using beetroot-based products. So we've put 0.4 grams of nitrates per bottle. It's the most you can get in a bottle of this size. It's the same dosed amount in their Beat It product. But what we've done is try to advance it. So pre-training, beetroot is a very beneficial product, or more precisely, nitrates are a very beneficial compound at producing greater work capacity, mitochondrial efficiency, oxygenation of the blood, and increasing nitric oxide, so again, nutrient delivery. Alongside this, we've put a very hefty dose. I think it's the highest dosed pre-workout product for citrulline malate on the market. It's got a whopping 8 grams in it. So, this isn't a cheap product, by the way. It's £32 for 15 bottles, so it's just over £2 a bottle. But it's priced like that, excuse me, because it takes an awful lot of manufacturing, has an awful lot of high quality ingredients in it, and it has them at the research dose. So this is really important. You will look at many labels of pre-workout products, and they will have like 500 milligrams of beta-alanine, a gram of citrulline malate. This stuff is useless at those doses. It honestly is. If you look at the research, like on our website, awesomesupplements.co.uk, we've linked heavily to examine.com, who we believe are kind of the best resource to look at what supplements work, what compounds work, why they work, what the dosages are. We've worked heavily with their website, and I've been in communication with them over the course of this to let them know, what we've been doing and why we've been linking heavily to their website and getting their support. Because you need to know that you're taking products that actually have the dose that actually works. There's no point taking beta-alanine at 500 milligrams. You are being sold by the label and not being sold the actual dose that's in the product. So we've put 8 grams of citrulline malate in this. Again, this improves work capacity and repeated performance. Citrulline malate only really works with people that are exercising intensely for a sort of a minute plus. So again, this product is very much not for people like strength athletes, not for power lifters, not for low state endurance athletes. But as soon as you start working hard, so if you were going to go out for a bike ride and it was going to be low to moderate intensity, you wouldn't take this. If you were going to work hard and you were going to push yourself, which is which is really the place for sports supplements anyway, when you're going to work hard, then it's very much applicable. And that's, across the board. It's assessing where our bodies, where our diets, where our training is actually ready for, these types of products. So, you wouldn't be taking awesome pre-workout if you weren't going to work hard, if you weren't going to go into the gym and do a really intense, hypertrophy-based session, if you weren't going to go out and do some hard conditioning or whatever. I'll give you an example. I use this product 3 days a week, usually. And it's on a Tuesday and a Thursday, so I do a high volume upper body gym session followed by rugby training, which is conditioning, it's explosive, it's hard work. I take one of these an hour before I get into the gym, which is our recommendations. You take it an hour before you go into the gym. And then on a Saturday, game day, if I'm playing, I would take it about half an hour before we start to warm up, because the warm up tends to be quite easy, and then we'll start to get intense and then we'll play. So I try and make sure my timing is an hour before it's actually going to get intense. Now remember, this has got beta-alanine in it, the pre-workout, so it is going to have that paresthesia effect if you're sensitive to it, if you haven't got any food in your system. So you are going to feel it quite a bit. Now it doesn't have caffeine in it. We did this for 2 reasons. Largely because caffeine, awesome caffeine tabs, we've put in small capsules, so 60 milligrams capsules, so you can personalize the dose. It's really important for me that you can personalize the dose, because some of us are of low body weight, some of us are bigger, some of us have greater sensitivity to it, some of us might be training at night and maybe only want 1 capsule, so it's out of their system before we go to bed. So we recommend you take awesome pre-workout with caffeine tablets. I tend to take 2.5 to 3 capsules before I train, depending on where and how I'm feeling. But it's usually about 180 milligrams for me. If I'm training in the evening and it's late, I might only take 1 tablet. Let's say if I was training at 7 o'clock at night, I might just take 1. That should be out of my system by then. Now, the other side effect of our pre-workout is that your urine will likely turn a bit pink. So don't be alarmed. It's just a natural effect from the beetroot juice, so it's not going to be a problem. We've also got L-tyrosine in this product, which is good at enhancing concentration, focus, and also lowering your perception of fatigue. So it helps you handle stress better, which for me is a really nice ingredient for a pre-workout product. We've also got L-carnitine, L-tartrate, which helps acute recovery and on an ongoing basis. Mixing up my words. Again, look on the Awesome Supplements pre-workout webpage if you want to read into this more, if you want to check out the research, links to examine.com. Again, it's like anything, clue yourself up with why you're taking this. So Awesome pre-workout has 6 key ingredients: nitrates from the beetroot juice, citrulline malate, beta-alanine, creatine, L-carnitine, L-tartrate, and L-tyrosine, all at the research-proven dose. No underdosing, none of that. It's exactly what you need, and that's why it is a little bit pricier. It is going to be more expensive than buying a standard pre-workout. Most standard pre-workouts are an expensive tub of caffeine anyway, so this is why it is a bit pricier, but it God, it works, and I love it, and it's a product we're really proud of, and I'm glad it's just come out. So you get that in a box of 15. It's likely gonna, if you were a bodybuilder and did a lot of high rep training, you would probably go through a box quite quickly because you might use it 4 or 5 times a week. If you're a sportsman like me, and you use it 3 times a week, then it's going to last me 5 weeks. So it's just to give you an understanding of how much a product like that might work. Coming back to our caffeine tablets, which I know I mentioned just a second ago because of the pre-workout, we also put theanine in this. Now what's really important is that caffeine and different types of caffeine can have different effects in different people. Now coffee, for example, is something that tends to give people quite a raw buzz feeling. It can often make you a little bit jittery, little bit agitated, maybe a little bit aggressive, depending on your mindset as well. So the reason why we put theanine in it is because the research is very clear in that it kind of stabilizes the effect of caffeine. It ensures that you don't get too jittery, it doesn't hype you up too much. So what you won't find is taking awesome caffeine pills, they won't have the same effect as a cup of coffee. It won't give you that kind of really buzzed alertness. It will give you a really clear, sharp, focused kind of high, because that theanine will stabilize it slightly. It will make you feel a little bit calmer, a little bit under control, won't have so much elevated blood pressure and heart rate. It will just regulate things a little bit. So I just want to manage your expectation. You thinking, oh, I'll pop 3 capsules and it's going to buzz me off my tits like a triple espresso. It will and it won't. It will have a calmer effect, so it will lift up any kind of fatigue you've got. Again, if you're using caffeine to really lift fatigue because you haven't slept properly, you're not recovered properly, then there's only so much caffeine can do. Don't abuse a supplement like caffeine. Don't use it to kind of make yourself feel normal all of the time. Our recovery should be good, our sleep should be good, our mindset should be good. We should go into things with the right mentality, and then these things have the desired and profound effect. So awesome caffeine tabs, very cheap product, very cost effective, much cheaper than buying coffee. It will also be cheaper than making coffee at home if you buy good beans and you make it kind of that way. It's also very versatile. They're in a pill format, so you can carry them around, really nice and easy. And that was the idea, that you can chuck a bottle of this pre-workout in your gym bag or whatever, have a couple of caffeine tablets somewhere, and off you go. So moving on, so far we've talked about 3 products: Awesome Performance Blend, the pre-workout, and the caffeine tablet. So it's kind of our supplements that operate around the workout window. To finish off kind of post-workout at the moment is our awesome recovery spray. So when I had transdermal technology, we had recovery spray as part of the company, and this, we've just refined it. So a lot of people found that they got red and a bit itchy by using our old formula of recovery spray. We've changed it. So we've taken out the niacin because that was creating a heat flush effect on the skin, which was improving blood flow to the surface of the skin, but it's becoming irritating for people. So we took it out. So hopefully now there should be a very, very, very low amount of people that get the reddenine. If the reddenine happens, it will be for a short period of time, and it will be because of the magnesium. So if you kind of get like a tingly skin, a bit of a kind of a weird feeling on the skin, it's quite often the magnesium. So magnesium and transdermal supplements operate via a gradient. So it goes on the skin. The body senses that there's less magnesium in the blood that's on the surface of the skin. It pulls it in through the surface of the skin, and that can quite often create a tingling feeling. So it's quite often observed that people that are very magnesium deficient get a lot of this tingling feeling. It'll only happen short term. So I just wanted to let you know that we've improved the formula. We've done a lot of work to make it more comfortable to use for a lot of people. We've also taken out the arginine as well, again to kind of improve this effect of the reddening on the skin. So it now seems to be a lot less greasy on the skin, so people find that using it, it's not leaving too much of a residue. It's a lot more comfortable to leave on for periods of time. Now, I find this massively beneficial. I do not train without it. I hate training without it. I just find it's so beneficial to use for training. So it has an acute recovery effect. I know I've talked about this on the podcast before. So if I go into the gym and I do a lower body session, I'll rub a good 5, 6, 7 sprays over my quads, 4 or 5 sprays in my hamstrings. Don't forget your glutes. People always forget your glutes, their glutes, and you'll know about it in the morning. Again, with rugby, I put it on all over my legs, sort of rub it into my hip flexors as well, maybe a little bit into my shoulders if I've done some contact work. But I find it so beneficial for reducing DOMs. I feel a lot better the next day. I feel a lot more flexible. I've got less pressure on my joints. So I find it is beneficial for joint pain as well. Please try. I just think it's so beneficial recovery spray. So convenient to use. Very, very cost effective. So yeah. So moving on, the other supplements, we'll talk about whey protein. Now I know that whey protein is a staple for a lot of people. It's been around for a long time. It's a very well understood source of protein. And, you know, whey protein's key in a sense because it's not beneficial in any way. A whey protein shake is like a blended chicken breast. It is a powdered form of protein. But the beautiful thing about whey protein for me is it's convenient. It adds convenience to our lifestyle. When we don't have a whey protein source kicking around, we can have it. We can take a portion in a shaker with us and have it when we need it. It's a quick, easy source of protein. You can make pancakes out of it, potted oats out of it, protein porridge out of it. It's so versatile and it ends up being very, very cheap. It ends up pretty much working out it's less than £1 a serving if you look at ours. So we recommend 2 scoops, which is 40 grams. We have 37 servings per container. It's a 1.5 kilo tub. So it's very cost effective. It's less than £1 a scoop. We've done a huge amount to make this taste good. We haven't made it too sweet, which is a lot of people's complaints with whey protein. We've really tried to make the flavours taste as natural as possible, all the flavours. We get a ton of positive feedback about our whey protein. Out of several hundred tubs sold, we've had one negative complaint. One person said it was too sweet for them, and that's just down to personal taste. I don't have a sweet tooth, and I find that the taste of this isn't too sweet. The reason also why we choose to use whey concentrate, so there's no whey isolate in this at all. We've used whey concentrate because it creates a creamier and tastier whey protein shake. It's basically a consistency thing. It's also cheaper. Whey isolate isn't any more beneficial, so a company will try and sell you whey isolate based on the fact that it's faster digesting, it gets into your muscles quicker. It might get into your muscles a fraction quicker, but this doesn't actually lead to any form of benefit. And over a long period of time, over like a week or a month of training, that will not improve your recovery. It will not improve the rate at which you build muscle mass. So that's why we chose whey concentrate. It's more enjoyable, works better in cooking, it's cheaper for you, and it just creates a nicer mouthfeel in the mouth. So I recommend that a lot of people have supplemental proteins in their diet purely because it creates flexibility. I don't have shakes that much. I probably have about 2 shakes a week. Based on convenience, travelling. Sometimes I'll travel and I'll drink quite a lot because I'm on the go, I need to be working, I can't really stop for food and stuff. So a shake's really convenient. I might have it with a piece of fruit like a banana or something. Other people might take a lot more protein, but I just think it's such a versatile way to get protein in your diet, very cost effective. So I've got 3 more products to go. Stay with me because I'm really keen to make sure that everyone understands this, really fully. Let me talk. Nearly dropped it. Let me talk about Daily Dose, which is essentially our vitamin formula. Now we know that vitamin D is essential to optimal health, and most of us are deficient. We know that fish oil, omega-3 fats are very beneficial to optimal health, and not of us get a lot of that. We also know that zinc is quite often a common deficiency, and that a lot of us miss out on some essential minerals and stuff. So we put all of this into one formula. We made it a ZMA, a fish oil, a vitamin D, and a multivitamin all in one. So it is everything in there. It will help with recovery, it will help with optimal health, it will help with performance, it will help with injury rehabilitation, because it's got all the compounds that you need in there. It's got 300 milligrams, which is the RDA, of magnesium glycinate. Why is magnesium glycinate beneficial? Because it's the most bioavailable form of magnesium. Magnesium citrate, it's not very good. Magnesium oxide, not very good. Magnesium biglycinate, not very good. Magnesium glycinate is what you want. The research shows it's very beneficial from an absorption perspective, and that's just my commitment to producing quality supplements. Magnesium glycinate is more expensive. That's why cheap forms of magnesium don't work as well, because they're made with low bioavailable chelates and oxides. It's not as good. It's got, let me double check to make sure I get my facts straight. It's got 2,500 international units of vitamin D in it. So there's loads in there. Per serving, it's got 3.5 grams of fish oil per serving. Massive amount. Now, I recommend 12 tablets a day for someone that is a high exerciser and a fairly high body weight. So that might seem like a lot, but the reason why it's a lot of tablets is because there's a lot in this product. I've crammed pretty much everything I think people need for optimal health, recovery and performance, and to act as an insurance policy in every way with your health into this product. So let's take a different example. Let's say you are a female, let's say you're 60 kilos and you don't exercise too much. Take in 4 to 6 tablets a day, probably split into 2 doses, maybe 3 in the morning, 3 in the evening, will be fine for you because your micronutrient needs are not as heavy. Let's say you have a really good diet, you get outdoors, you eat fish occasionally, you might only take 6 tablets a day. I personally take 12 tablets a day, purely because I don't always eat fish. I'm not outside that much because I work a lot of the time indoors. I try to get outside as much as possible. And I'm exercising a lot, which means I'm depleting my magnesium stores a lot. So if you're kind of like me, I would take 12 tablets a day. If you're not, then take less. Also, if you're trying to economize, you might be a student, you might be on a lower income, then take less tablets. Don't think that if you take less, you will get, it's not working. It's not like taking Performance Blend and not getting enough creatine and beta-alanine. It's not like that. If you're taking on board even half the RDA of vitamin D, it's still beneficial to health. We could argue that it's not ideal, but it doesn't matter. What we're trying to do is be better. So if you can only afford to take 3, 4, 6 tablets, then do that. If you can afford to take 12, you're a high exerciser, you've got a high body weight, then I would highly recommend you try and work towards taking 12 capsules a day. Talking and coming back to the ingredients again, I've tried my best to get the best quality ingredients in this product. To highlight that, we've got, oh, by the way, coming back to fish oil, 3.5 grams is the amount that's in it. The active dose is 2 grams per day. So 2 grams is the researched amount recommended daily for omega-3 fats. So we've got what we feel is the RDA in there. What am I looking for? Yeah, the fish oil, sorry. The fish oil is in powdered form. So this is very unique to the sports supplement and health market. Powdered fish oil ensures that it has less exposure to oxygen and heat. So basically anything within the environment, and light. So anything within the environment that can spoil a fish oil, we've chosen a new patented powdered fish oil. So basically it's manufactured similar to like a greens powder. So a greens powder will get made into basically a smoothie. It'll get fired through this kind of funnel that will almost be like a watering can that you would use in your garden. It's fired through there and it's freeze dried, and it's a similar thing with fish oil. So it's basically fired into tiny particles, then it's micro encapsulated. So as a powder, it's actually still a liquid, but it's that small that you can't see it. Hence, it's a micro encapsulated fish oil. There was a recent study done in New Zealand where they took, I think it was 37 different types of fish oil on the market in New Zealand, and they found that 3 out of those 37 fish oils were deemed to have safe levels of non-oxidized fish oil. So that's showing that over 90% of the fish oils that we're potentially consuming or are available in the market are from oxidized and rancid sources, and you do not want to be taking oxidized and rancid sources of fish oil. So that's why I chose a new patented form of powdered fish oil. So for me, very proud of this product. It's combining all the things that we take for health, performance, longevity into one daily product. So let me finish off by talking about electrolytes, and I will stop hammering and harping on about supplements. But this is all good education. So electrolytes. Right now I'm recording this in summer. It's hot, it's sweaty, perfect time for electrolytes. If you're working hard in the gym, again, another good time to have electrolytes. Electrolytes are not essential. You will be getting them in your daily diet. If you drink mineral water, if you drink tap water with a little bit of pinch of sea salt in it, you will be getting electrolytes in your diet. If you add salt to your food, you will be getting electrolytes in your diet. But it's about getting optimal performance. So if you exercise for an hour, hour and a half intensely, I would probably recommend that you take on board some electrolytes. I personally, this is just me, like something sweet when I'm training. I find it helps quench my thirst. I find if I'm working hard, water doesn't quite often quench my thirst and give me something. Also, there's been research that's been done that swilling and even putting sweet fluids into your mouth and swilling them around helps improve performance. So it helps mobilize energy stores. So actually just drinking something sweet during your workout, so you could take a non-carb electrolyte formula and you can improve your performance via this effect. So that's just a kind of a more scientific rationale for potentially drinking something sweet during a workout. So we've got two formulas. We've got a non-carb electrolyte version, which I would recommend for people that are moving around in a lot of heat. So I might go and do my gardening, and I will probably drink a fairly weak solution of electrolytes while I'm doing the gardening, because I know I'm going to be sweating an awful lot. It's hot right now, we're all sweating. If I'm going to do a gym session for an hour, I work fairly hard, so I will take some electrolytes with me, and again, I find it nice because of that kind of sweet taste on the mouth. Then we've got awesome electrolytes with carbohydrates. Now, people taking on board sugars, a lot of people are scared, and you should not be scared to take on board carbs during your workout. Carbohydrates are highly beneficial to performance. The thing is, we've been demonizing carbs for so long in diets that people have avoided any type of sugar or refined carbohydrate, but there is a place for it, and that place is definitely in exercise performance. So on a Tuesday and a Thursday, when I do a big gym session followed by a big rugby training session, I will drink about 40 grams of carbs over the space of 2 hours in a big 1 litre shaker, and that helps provide for my performance. Again, it quenches my thirst. It has electrolytes. Electrolytes also help put cramps at bay, and helps muscle work efficiently. So if you're an endurance athlete, if you train intensely for an hour plus, if you look at most of the research on electrolyte and carb formulas, you're looking at an hour plus to get the most benefit, or to kind of rationalize taking a product of that nature. It's highly beneficial. Our awesome electrolytes plus carbs formula is a fruit punch flavor. I personally quite like it. I think it tastes kind of a little bit sherbety, fruity, that kind of thing. Our awesome electrolytes is just a really nice, refreshing kind of orange flavour. I used I used the kind of Lucozade orange as a basis for the drink and tried to improve it, tried to make it a little bit tartar, a little bit fresher and not so sweet tasting. So I'm very proud of the flavours. We will have new flavours coming on board of the electrolyte and carb version in the future, but for now it's just kind of the one flavour. Talking of flavours, the whey protein comes in vanilla, chocolate, banana, and and strawberry. Again, with all flavourings of stuff, just like if it tastes too sweet, or it's too flavoursome, dilute it. And if it's not strong enough, then add less fluid. It's that kind of simple. It's like making a bit of squash. Just add a little bit more of what you need to get the desired taste. Talking of taste, coming back to the pre-workout product, don't expect this to taste amazing. It tastes decent. I've made it kind of quite sour, a sour berry flavour. And the reason why I've made it sour is because sour flavours are the best way that I think you can cover up beetroot. So beetroot isn't the best drink for a lot of people. I don't mind beetroot, I love it. I love vegetable juices like beetroot, carrot, kale, I'm a big fan. But a lot of people don't like it, so I used a sour berry flavour to mask it. You know, it's a shot-based product, so the chances are you're going to shoot it down anyway. I've done my best to make it taste as palatable as possible, and we use loads of flavouring profile. We try mango, passion fruit, all sorts of stuff, and kind of a red sour berry flavour seemed to work the best. So yeah, I just wanted to pre-warn you. I'm trying to be honest about everything that we've done. I want you to know everything. I want you to understand everything. I want you to rationalise your purchases, and also I want you to believe in what we're trying to achieve. This is a massive educational step for me. I've put a huge amount of work, time, resources into creating this. And look, it's as simple as what I've tried to do with Body Type Nutrition. Body Type Nutrition for me, I've tried to become the voice of reason in nutrition. When people... Sorry, I'm getting dry mouth. So hot. Woo! Excuse me. You know, when people think, oh, I need nutrition information, I want to know about X, Y, and Z, I want people to think, right, I'm going to go and see what Ben Coomber's talking about. I want to go and see if BTN have written a blog about this, or they've got a video on it. And it's the same with Awesome Supplements. I want Awesome Supplements to be that voice of reason in the supplement industry, or I want us to be doing ethically what the supplement industry should have been doing a long time ago, and that's educating us properly on supplements, being honest about ingredients, being honest about how things work, being honest about the dosing, the price, everything. And I just hope that this has gone some way to helping you understand how supplements can fit into your lifestyle, how they might work, the potential side effects, everything. I want you to be really, really clear on all of that. Now, once this is posted on Facebook, Twitter, you know, all over the place, feel free and please do ask me a question. If I've talked about something and you want to know more, you want some clarity, you want to ask about your situation, then fire us a message. The Awesome Supplements Facebook page is always there for people to say, hey, I'm not sure what I should be taking, I do this, I do that, can you give me some advice? We will always help. I am an educator. I want people to know what to do, how to do it, why to do it. So please don't fall silent. Please reach out. Now, if you've enjoyed this, please do me the massive favour of sharing it. Maybe tag someone in. You might know someone that is taking supplements, you know, that are not working or don't do anything, or you know that they could have a little bit of benefit to kind of knowing a little bit more about what we do and how we do it. And that would be really beneficial. Look, if you can keep sharing the love, sharing this information, now that would be really cool. Now, I know I've just mentioned supplements that don't work. There is a very comprehensive article on awesomesupplements.com.co.uk in the article section about supplements that don't work and the supplements that we don't stock and why. We don't stock fat loss. We don't stock, mixing my words up. We don't stock fat loss products because I don't believe in the psychology behind them. We need to eat the right food and we need to eat less of it if we want to lose body fat. All these special teas, acai berry, CLA, raspberry ketones, all this kind of stuff, we don't sell it. We don't sell fat burners either because I just don't think it's healthy from a metabolic perspective. I think the only people that should really be using fat burners is maybe people that are competing and they're at the end stage of competition and they need a little bit of a kind of metabolic boost. Apart from that, I just don't recommend it for anyone. I've never seen it pan out effectively. We don't sell weird forms of creatine, testosterone boosters, weird acids. We don't sell BCAAs. The only time I think BCAAs are beneficial is if you train fasted. Not a huge amount of people train fasted, so I would probably... That's why we don't stock it as a product. And also there's an argument to say that if you want to train genuinely fasted, then don't take any amino acids before. Don't take anything if you want to genuinely train fasted. I would personally, ideally, if you train fasted and you want to get the most out of your training, take a whey protein shake 30 to 40 minutes before training. BCAAs are good, but EAAs, or essential amino acids, or all the complete protein that you would find in a normal protein source, is more beneficial to switching on anabolism and you giving the body the raw ingredients it needs to do a lot of these physiological and anabolic processes. So personally, I would take a whey protein shake with you on the way to your gym, sip it on the way to the gym or whatever, over BCAAs. We don't sell L-glutamine. You get loads of it in your diet. There's not really a rationale for people to supplement with L-glutamine unless you're a massively hard training endurance athlete and you leave yourself susceptible and often get upper respiratory tract infections. Otherwise, I wouldn't take L-glutamine. And we don't sell anything that plays around with hormones or anything like that. What we sell right now, we feel that works. We've got 1 or 2 products in the pipeline. We've got other exciting stuff that we're going to try and do. We'll reinvent and look at some flavouring stuff in the future. But look, if you've got any ideas, if you've got any queries, if you say, Ben, how come you don't stock this supplement, or how come you don't make it? We're happy to talk to you guys about this kind of stuff. I do this because of you. It's about educating you and providing you with supplements that are high quality, that work, and are provided in the dosages that they should be. Anyway, I've ranted enough. I just wanted to help you out on this kind of stuff because I don't want people to misuse or be missold anything and not understand things. Right, this is a Thursday podcast. I'll be back on Monday with a quick, short show, and then I'll be back next Thursday with Mark Navarin from SealFit. Again, if you enjoyed the show, please do me a massive favour. Like, share, comment, ask questions, engage. It helps me grow the show, and I massively appreciate it. Right, that's it. That's from me. You know the drill. Go and be awesome. Hey everyone, Vancouver Radio, episode number 206. It's a Monday. It's the weekend has passed. I've just been to Latitude Festival. Great fun. Loads of comedy.